And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host Ray. With me as always, we have Father.
Happy 4th of July. We already celebrated our 4th of July. It's called Juneteenth.
And also we have Shining Black Wolf.
Shine on, shine bright.
Alright. And I don't know if y'all hear this, they're like shooting fireworks outside my window. But we already got started. We're gonna start with Chris Breezy, or as the Bloods calls him Chris Breezy. So if anybody has been knowing, this is why. First of all, I'm excited because I don't know why I've been excited to talk about these topics because there's like everything I've been talking about, and most of it's kind of like prove my point about people. So with Briss Breezy, he had a new song. I forgot what the song was called. Y'all remember what the song is called?
I didn't really hear the
It
song.
starts with an I believe.
I Need a Stat.
Yeah.
So and he has a line in I Need a Stack that unfortunately has all the black women is mad. And it goes,
You
Hold
mad?
on, man. I'll be right back.
okay. Digging it, then I'm licking it all on that pussy. Put it right there. Only want to fuck the bitches with the nice hair.
With the nice hair.
With the nice
Got
hair.
that, you got that good hair.
You got
You
that
got
good.
that good hair. Girl, get you that light skin daughter. You can have you some good, your kid with that good hair.
So that escalated into a lot of things. People will call him colorist, and people like Tokyo Vanity has been like calling him out on him being colorist. Like the time when they was at the club and her friend tried to get in, and his people said no darkies allowed. So,
Damn.
so we're gonna go Shining Wolf. How do you feel about this situation?
Well, as far as him, I want to go. I want to go with the club one first. I heard about the club and him not letting the dark ones in. First one, I like all kinds of dark skin, light skin, Asian dark skin, Asian light skin, Indian dark skin, Indian light skin, brunettes, blondes, even gingers. So I don't relate to what he said, but with his preference, but he has the right to his preference in that regard. How did that even get out in the first place?
It's on a song.
He said
What he said about. Hold on.
The no darkies.
Hold on 1 second. Trying to turn off these notifications. People telling me the messenger. And it's the notification. Oh, okay. I know what to do. Sorry.
Are you looking for the lyrics?
No, I already recited the lyrics.
Oh. Yeah,
Okay,
but
good.
that
Good. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like I don't relate to his preference, but that's his preference. If he don't want to let the dark skinned women in, then that's his thing. It's fucked up, but that's his thing. I know plenty of other people who got preferences that I think is fucked up, but they allowed to have it. So, what do you think about it, Raymond? That particular one.
Like you, I like all types of women. Do I have a preference? Yeah, my preference is dark skinned women, but I don't exclude no other preference. Like my first girlfriend was a white woman, but
A white woman.
a white woman.
Did some of that privilege roll off on you? You got some of that privilege? You save that privilege in a jar?
in case of privilege break glass, just a little bit.
In case of need of privilege, Franklin.
But the thing about Chris Brown and it's funny because Chris Brown he loses fans, but he gains fans at the same time. That's a one thing I can say about Chris Brown. It seems like he's never in a decline, even when he like hit Rihanna. He always gain fans and lose fans. But as far as the situation goes, he's always been known for being kind of colorist because Tokyo Vanity said, there's been times where like Chris Brown is throwing a party and like before you even get in on a guest list, you have to show them your Instagram page. And if you're darker than the brown paper bag, then you're not really getting in a lot. So he's had even though he's made songs like Melanin Magic with Remy Ma and songs like Brown Girl, he's been told like it's been known that he's been colors. I don't care personally because there's and this is what I tell women. There's niggas that will love you. There was niggas that will love your dark skin. Go focus on them. If someone ain't fucking with your dark, someone ain't fucking with you because you're dark skin. Go fuck with a nigga that fucks with you that do love dark skin women.
Yeah, because there's so many thirsty dudes out here that will fuck with these women. They just picky. They want very particular type or very particular this, very particular that. But there's so many thirsty dudes out here, and dudes that be inviting to them. I don't know why they get so. That's because he's a celebrity. That's what it is.
Yeah,
And they want validation from the celebrity. But yeah.
And I've said this, and I can be wrong, but I feel like since Chris Brown is someone that people like, and maybe even their type, because if you really point it out, Chris Brown's like he's light skinned, he's in good. Sometimes he's in crackhead shape, but sometimes he's in good shape. Uh, he's a handsome looking guy, and he's kind of light skinned. So women love them light skinned boys, and like he's sort of a bad boy, and so people love that attitude or that bad boy type of persona. So I feel like they're attracted to him. So to find out that he's not attracted to you, I feel like it gets under their skin sometimes.
Especially when you gotta hear it in fucking songs that go everywhere.
Right.
Because when you push because when you push that out, you're gonna get other people of other races saying the same shit. That's why it seems like a lot of Hispanic women and a lot of black women be beefing with each other because because you don't find out that this Hispanic girl who a non-black Hispanic girl done said something about a black girl and now she got a record because she talking out her mouth or because a black man, gave her like the pass to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. And I also want to say another thing. Like you can have your preference, but if you exclude an entire group, that's not really a preference. That's an exclusion. That's an exile. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If you exile a whole nother group,
I exclude the entire group. You know what that group is?
Whites.
No, I told you I don't. I prefer black women, but I don't. I definitely don't exclude any other races. That include white women, but I exclude fat women. I do not like fat women.
No fat chicks.
No fat chicks.
I mean, that's not a race. And
No, well, I guess it's well. They trying to make it a group. They try to make everything a group nowadays.
Yeah, they're trying to call that shit now body shaming.
Body shaming and hate speech against
Fat
body
phobia.
type.
fat
Body
phobia.
type.
Like I saw the grapevine, the girls was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
these fat phobia people." I said,
yeah. They try to turn everything into a group of class.
because some people feel special. I said it's one thing if you're not liking fat like black people. That's one thing. 'Cause that is exclusion. It's like, but you cannot be fat. It's like you could just get in the gym and not be fat and
That's
exercise.
also a very good point. That's why a lot of people say fat phobia doesn't exist because you can lose the weight.
Uh-huh.
Like unless you're like unless there's a medical condition that makes you fat, which exists, that's one thing. But if you're just like fat because you're lazy, you're just fat because you're lazy.
And you still gonna have brothers that's gonna check for you.
Yeah,
You're
it's
gonna have people checking for you. So I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. You're gonna have
yeah, niggas.
you're gonna have like large numbers still larger
Hey,
than get. At least they
hey,
can't say they're an incel. So I know
hey,
this.
you know what? Those 600 pound, my 600 pound life. You know the really big ones.
Mm-hmm.
They be having boyfriends. Husbands is even like
I
yeah.
know a girl who's really really big. Her arm looks like someone stuffed some shirts into a plastic bag a little bit. She's pregnant right now.
Oh Lord.
So I mean, it's still you still got choices here.
All right. So, what do you think, Father?
Yeah, I mean, I mostly agree with everything that was said. Um, see, my only thing is Chris Brown. Like you said, Ray, he's really bad at his public image. Like it's like
Mhm.
I've never seen anyone that bad in this generation like Chris Brown. Like
Yeah.
bad. So whenever he gets mad and then he fucking lashes out on Instagram talking about, look here, I ain't mean that shit you're telling me, instead of actually explaining what the lyric meant. You
What
know
he
what
meant,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Because yeah, he said good hair. I mean, he said nice hair, but black women have always had nice hair. If you ask me, or if you ask us, you know what I'm saying? The
Unless they got
natural,
one of
the four
those, unless they got one of
C,
those conditions.
yeah, the four C's, like all those different hair textures. A lot of black women be rocking the fuck out of their hair.
Shut up,
So
Mariana.
Oh,
yeah, so just because he said now I will agree that he has a point when he said just because I said nice hair don't mean a specific type of hair.
right,
But
that's true. That's true.
yeah, that's true. But at the same time, since you didn't specify, then they also have a point of saying what the fuck is you trying to say, and you didn't answer their question. That's why your ass is getting dragged when all you had to do was answer the goddamn question in the first place. You could have, you could have spin that into a whole black woman empowerment shit if you really wanted to, with how vague you made
Yeah.
it. You could have turned that shit around. But since you stupid as hell and you suffer from light skin Albie Short syndrome, you want to lash out at the house. God damn.
Let me
Yeah,
let
because women who do the little hot combing thing and all the little perms and stuff, a lot of times they don't have good hair because that shit breaking off and thinning in certain areas because of the chemicals and stuff. So he could have put it that way.
Yeah, and
Like he
also,
like, mhm.
you could also say that those girls also suffer from a form of self hate, because who said that black women's hair isn't up to standard? Who really said that in the first place? So the fact that a black woman can assume that by good hair she means a European type of hair, that's a form of self hatred. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? So, and that's not to put blame on them, but that's just like the condition that's just the condition we're in. We're in a system of white supremacy and shit like that, where they tell you when you are young, this is beautiful and this is not. If you typed in beautiful woman on Twitter, you're gonna find a whole bunch of white women. You feeling what I'm
right.
saying? So it's like while that has been taught to them and it has been ingrained towards them, we are living in a time now where Afrocentric beauty is really starting to get a spotlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Look at Rihanna. Look at what Rihanna's doing with Fenty, and a lot of like makeup influencers and shit. They're like these are dark skinned women, or these are dark skinned people, because gay dark skinned dudes are fucking killing it. Shout out to Ricky Thompson.
Woo.
So
Yeah.
hey, that's my boy. He funny as shit. So like the Afrocentric beauty that's going on right now, the movement that's going on, that's something that you can fall back on. Like at the
Mhm.
very end of the day, you ain't gotta listen to the Chris Browns and the Kodak Blacks that said that dumb shit about dark skinned girls. You really don't have to subscribe to that because at the very end of the day, you have so many examples of people showing you love and people saying that your skin is fucking beautiful and all of that. So
Yeah, I
it's
have a
like,
thing for dark skinned girls.
right. So also shout out to Amala Negra. That is the finest dark skinned girl I've ever seen in my life.
Lord Jesus,
That is a fine motherfucker.
I want to have children with not
Curtain.
just one. I just wanted like 10. I just want to have 10. I want to have. Let me stop.
You
Let me
try to
stop.
stretch that woman. You try to stretch that woman all out, ain't you?
Yes,
That is a beautiful ass woman.
I'm gonna turn her into a uterus with a head. If
that,
baby's gonna be salsa dancing out of her when I'm done with. Look like Victor Cruz every time he score a touchdown and shit. Okay. All right. Let's stay on the topic of women and shit. Like, I'm sorry, women, but I feel like you got to take a L this week, in my opinion. Especially things like the cucumber challenge and the licking ice cream and putting it back.
fuck was that?
Oh, bro,
And
Twitter is
Bro,
wild. That's all I'm
I
gonna say.
okay, who want to start this? Who want to start this
like
off?
ice cream no more.
So yeah, all over social media, there's a bunch of videos of women just molesting the fuck out of cucumbers. I don't know what like. There was a video of a girl in the club doing it, and then all of a sudden you just see a whole bunch of copycat videos of women doing the same shit. There was that one in the car where the girl who people question whether that's a girl or not was doing it, and that's what got that dude in trouble with Reginae, Lil Wayne's daughter, because he put an
Why
emoji. Yeah, yeah, because he put an emoji on the bottom, and then Reginae like blocked him and shit. So after that video went viral, you see a whole bunch of copycats, and then on top of that, this dumb bitch goes into a fucking store, takes a tub of ice cream from the freezer, opens it, licks it, puts the cap back, and then puts it back, and then walks away. Like, and then you see the same thing. A whole bunch of copycats happen. There was one with mouthwash where a gay dude took some Listerine, switched it up, spit it back into the
Oh,
container, and then put it back.
oh no.
So and then yeah, I'm seeing all of this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You
And
know,
like,
sperm lingers in the mouth for a good minute, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
disgusting.
but I feel like because of that gay dude, the LGBT kind of had to take that L too. I'm not saying that they condone it, but the fact that he's part of that community, you know what I'm saying? They had to check him for it, in which they did. But that's still an L that they got to take because that ain't it at
Yeah,
all.
I saw women checking other women for that shit too.
Yeah. So it's not like this is something that they're praising. Like they're doing it for clout, but the clout is them saying what the fuck is wrong with you. And some good news happened today. The first girl that licked the ice cream is getting two to 20 years because she's getting sued from the company. So I'm
Damn.
like, shout out to God's plan. Shout out to God for that. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to teach y'all a lesson that y'all can't be doing this dumb shit.
Yeah, because man, that shit is wild. I ain't eating nothing from the grocery store unless it's completely sealed anymore.
Yeah, it got that little tape on it.
Yeah, that little plastic wrap that's around it, it kind of lets you know they haven't been open.
Yeah,
You gotta give me a hard time to get into it before I eat it. Now,
yeah.
Hmm.
Now,
I ain't know
but
about the Listerine thing though. That was new to me.
Yeah, Listerine is new to me.
That's nasty. Ooh.
yeah, it was fucking disgusting. Oh, everybody blasted that nigga. Everybody did it,
Yeah.
especially the LGBT. That was like, oh hell, fucking no.
You can't be repping us like this.
Yeah, they
All these Republicans out here.
they
I
got
would,
on his
I
ass.
would say this one thing about the LGBT: if you fuck up, they'll get in your ass. They they will play that shit.
You're like that dude. That's that dude from Empire.
Yeah, Jussie
When he
Smollett.
fucked up. Yeah, when he fucked up.
Yeah, you saw that. Like, gay people got in his ass because the one thing
Yeah.
with the Jussie Smollett thing, they was like, you better not be lying because if you because if we find out you're lying, you're like fucking it up for the rest of us. That when shit does happen, like they're not gonna believe us and shit. They're gonna be thinking we're like Jesse Smollett or some shit like that. So also, going on the cucumber challenge. I don't like. Maybe it's just me getting older, and I was like, I when I looked at that, it didn't turn me on at all. I don't know if this is supposed to turn niggas on and some shit like that, but it's just like this shit ain't cute. It's
Mm.
and like I'm not a prude. I'm not a prude or anything, but I feel like things like that are should be done not on camera. Just
Yeah.
not on, and like even then, I feel like you're just wasting cucumbers and fruit and people and shit. It's like that could be good on a salad, not you deep throating it and some shit like that. There was one chick, she tried to do it with an eggplant. And I'm like, where the fuck you get an eggplant from?
I saw that shit. That was funny as hell.
I was
She
like, why the fuck she got an egg?
eggplant like for real.
Yes, a real eggplant. And she tried to deep throw the eggplant. I was like,
She failed.
I don't know. I stopped watching that video. So here's another question. I was like, do you think us social media, do you think we have gone too far? Or do you think we or no? Do you think we done gone too far with shit? Because it's like some of the shit like kids could like really see it. And I've been to a lot of these twerkers Instagram. Some of them are not private.
Okay, so here's my thing. I think I think there's a gray area. I think on one end is white, where there's a lot of positive shit on social media. You can get a lot of inspiration from it. You can build businesses. You can do a lot of shit like that. And then there's the real
Yeah.
dark side of social media where you got just people doing dumb shit, the bullying, like all of that. And then the gray area is just
Negative cringy shit.
it's just like yeah, it's just like a whole bunch of gray areas in certain
Uh-huh.
cases where somebody's doing sex work and posting porn on their shit, but they're doing it to pay their bills. Uh, they like going to parties, or it's just there's different shit for a lot of people. That's why there's usually different types of social medias. Like when Tumblr got rid of all their porn shit, they actually fucked over all the other social media sites when they did that. Because now you
Right.
got these undesirables that fucking come into Twitter and come into IG and then post their filth on there. And they're not used to being censored, because in Tumblr land, it was like their own space. They literally made their own spaces. Now
Right.
they
Hello.
here, they start retweeting the shit, and it gets wider and wider and wider and shit. So
Yeah.
it's like I feel like it's just it just depends on where you are, really. Like I don't think social. I hate it when people say social media is like a bad thing, because obviously it's not. You just focusing on one bad aspect of it and then trying to blanket that
Yeah.
into the whole shit, which we said which is a stupid idea in the first place, because that's what feminists do, to try to say men are trash and shit like that. But every example of a dude being ain't shit, we could show 10 examples of a dude actually doing what he's supposed to do. But they're not trying to hear that though, because
Yeah.
that'll
I
take
want to
away
add
their
on that.
fucking
Like when
argument.
chicks say that like this and there's no like good men. I was like, I know a whole bunch of decent men. I don't know nobody who's perfect, but I know a whole bunch of decent men. But I highly doubt that y'all want to recognize that. Y'all just want a reason to complain because y'all want to keep on fucking around with the fuck boys.
You know what's funny, Clarence? I think I was in a group and some woman was saying that there ain't no good men around, and no none of these men would like worship black women. Some not even worship black women. They don't love black women and all the other stuff. And I was like, I know some women. I mean, I know some dudes right now that will like worship the grounds you walk on, or like they really love and appreciate black women, and they go really tag them. And I started tagging all the men, and it shut her up.
Hmm.
So like you said, I do feel like the negatives do get pushed more than a positive because I think the negative grabs
Yeah.
drama and people grab drama a lot. People love drama a lot. Even though when they say I don't do drama, it's like you like drama. People there's people that do love drama.
Oh yeah.
Um
I want to add.
I now as far as social media goes, I get you get what you look for. And I say the same thing about World Star because people think World Star is
Mhm.
trash. And I said I've learned a lot of political shit off of World Star as well. Like and like especially like police brutality videos. Most of the stuff I get them off of World Star. There's some dudes that be on there that be like giving these positive poetries about black women and like you see them on Facebook. The one black woman with the dreads with the ankh in the middle of a tattoo like she's always doing these fly ass poems. It's like you'll see them if you really look for them. But if you're just looking for negative shit, then
But
that's fine. Twitch is the same way. You got your titty streamers, and then you got people like Max. Is like Maximilian. Like there's people like Maximilian. Like as cringy as most people think he is. Sometimes it's like people.
Maximilian is cringy. Who thinks he's cringy?
There's
A
a
lot of
there's
people.
a, there's a lot of people think he's
Why?
cringy.
I don't understand.
I'm not gonna lie. He is kind of cringy. He can come across very cringy sometimes.
What does he do that's cringy? Because I don't follow.
Oh my god, video game.
You mean those overreactions?
Yeah, you don't think that shit's kind of cringy?
Well, I think that's like his trademark to me.
I mean, and that's fine. But
Oh,
I'm
that
just saying
thing.
that it could be cringy.
Yeah.
Just look at some of the
I think it
games.
could be a bit much, but the thing about me is I don't watch him a lot. I watch him every once in a while when he's talking about something that I'm really into, like the Samurai Showdown thing came out. I watched him for that, but I don't watch him a lot, so I don't really encounter too much of his over enthusiasm.
It's more or less him and more or less the fan base.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the black
Oh,
nigga with the Stephen A. Smith hairline. I don't know. I find him cringy. But like I
yeah,
said,
I don't watch him. I don't even know who that is. That one person you just brought up.
I think his name's Steve, but
Mhm.
that I'm pretty sure that would ruin my chances of ever working with Maximilian dude. But okay. But like I said, there's your balance. There's people that do positive shit, and then there are people, you have your people that all they do is twerk and then like try to sell you this Snapchat premium and shit. So
Yeah,
you get what you find, and
right.
then what up, Phil?
What up? What are y'all talking about? All I heard was twerking and Snapchat premiums.
Cucumber challenge.
Uh,
The
okay,
cucumber challenge. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm to the point in my life. I'm, I'm just whatever. Ain't my problem. She
What the
want
cucumber challenge?
a lot of things. She want to suck dick. I mean, suck cucumbers for some
Cucumber.
life or whatever. To sell your Snapchat premium or whatever. Whatever you doing, you want to do it for fun. Ain't my problem. You look stupid, but it ain't my problem.
Okay, so what about the people that's licking the ice cream and then
Oh,
putting it back?
That's fucked up because other people gotta eat that. They look like they're young in that either mid to late teens, but
I
I don't
don't know.
know.
It's hard to tell these days. But this one I saw recently, she had some crazy ass hips. Uh, she was like 20 something, maybe, possibly. I don't know. But
I don't.
definitely.
I don't know why you're going around licking ice cream and what possessed you to do it. The way they were joking about it is like a day. I don't know, but food tampering is a hefty charge. I believe somebody told me it was a felony, and I believe it.
It is
Uh,
because you can kill somebody.
and supposedly they can face up to 20
Disease.
years.
Which is another reason why Gordon Ramsay yells at people. That's random, but that's why Gordon
Yeah.
Ramsay be yelling at people.
I mean, I remember doing full handling classes for things like McDonald's and Six Flags. They were really about those temperatures. And you have I don't like Burger King because I didn't had 2 different Whoppers. They gave me stomach aches. I'm not doing it again. And people don't listen to me. I'm like, fuck Chipotle. I had an E. coli breakout, and you up here, it's still good. Shut up.
I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people, but that was only because I was eating the one in Roslyn.
No, it was
Stop.
too close. It was too close.
Oh yeah, well, what I wanted to add about the whole internet, the social media and negativity thing, is I noticed that a lot of people mostly only really respond to controversial issues that's kind of like going around in the media. The only thing that's like negative, like racial or like just like this negative issues, they kind of like hone in and focus on that. If you post,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
yeah, like if you post something that's about like, for example, like the whole Little Mermaid thing, if you post something out of negative, mostly negative, if you post something negative about that, then a whole bunch of people come and comment and respond to that. But if you post something that's funny, lighthearted, or entertaining, or just something, something that's fun, something that's educational, like nobody will watch it, nobody will like it, respond to a comment. But if you post something about like something that's going on in the current zeitgeist of media that's negative, they'll respond to it, comment. You'll get the most conversation you probably ever had on social media off of that type of stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, people just respond to negativity regardless of what it is. Related positivity. And I remember Snoop Dogg reality TV show?
Yes.
Yeah.
It got canceled because there wasn't no drama on it. Because Snoop Dogg and his family had a dynamic, and it got canceled because Snoop Dogg he let his wife do the discipline the way she wanted. He just they had it. It wasn't no drama, so they canceled it. A lot of things get canceled because there's no drama. And I'm to the point though. Like I said, I'm just almost to the point. Like, F it. I ain't trying to waste no more than 5 minutes on it, depending on what it is. I mean, I'm gonna defend my black people to the day I die, but even then, I'm just like, if it's somebody idiot, like the mermaid thing, like Ariel being, they casting a black actress, young black actress singer. I watch her and her sister play. They're not twins in real life, but they play twins on Grownish, a Blackish spinoff, and they really entertaining on there. They got a singing career. I was like, dope. But there's people upset about it. I went, didn't surprise me with white people. What surprised me was the black people complaining about it.
I did some research on Little Mermaid. And I found out that was that whole movie or book story, whatever, took place in Norway. I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, let's get to it because I think we're done on the cucumber challenge. How do y'all feel about Halle Bailey being Ariel in the Little Mermaid? And go ahead, Clarence.
I think they need to change the location because Norway and this black woman coming out of the water with all these European castles and princes and shit.
So
they're gonna kill her ass.
So Clarence, you did your research, right? Now,
so what?
You say you did your research right now, right?
You gonna mention the Moors, aren't you?
No. I don't even know.
Okay.
No, my thing is this is the Disney version. We're going back to the movie and not from the nursery rhyme. That's why I think a lot of people get confused. A lot of these stuff are nursery rhymes. And Disney has actually, they're a lot darker to the point like where in Cinderella, the original story, if I remember, the 3 little mean sisters, in order to try to one of them
They chop.
They
They
chop their
chop it.
tail just to fit in the glass clipper.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so you're not going. This is off the Disney one, and they can do anything with it from the Disney one.
Yeah, they can because the Disney one isn't accurate anyway. Like
No, it's not.
In the Little Mermaid original, she died. She didn't make that deal with Ursula, and it wasn't her voice she was betting. She was betting her whole life,
Mhm. And
and
you
she was
know, yeah, and then I don't know. Anybody watch Once Upon a Time? They chop up stuff and nobody get mad. Nobody mad about the villain being black. That's another thing. Everybody want Ursula to be black for some goddamn reason.
Because there's a rumor. There's a rumor that Ursula was based off of a black trans woman.
a drag queen. It was a drag queen, right?
Yeah, or like a drag queen or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's other things too. I'm hearing because she dealing witchcraft
She got some soul in her voice though. She got
uh,
like in the Disney movie, she has some soul in her voice. I don't really think. I'm sure there's some white women that can carry. I've heard white women that can carry that type of tone in their singing. But I ain't gonna say they can't, but it's more common amongst black women. But
I
Ursula, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but if they would have cast anybody that wasn't dark skinned,
Uh-huh.
if Ariel Grande with Ariel look Kayla little love assassin,
Ariana Grande.
yeah, that one.
I, I
If she got it, I don't think nobody would better to be honest.
I still think I think what I think they should do is I think they should make the whole not the whole cast, but the majority of them black. But change it to Brazil. Don't have it in Norway and have all these black people or black characters. Change it to like Brazil because Brazil has a big mermaid myth too. That's what I think they should do because I just don't it don't sway with me the whole having black all these like black people and black characters in these real European areas, especially in the 18. I think Little Mermaid took place in the 1600s. The clothes tell me 1600s. They had those
Or it took
real
place
tight.
in an alternate reality.
No. It took place in what's that place? Denmark.
Danish.
Denmark
It was a Danish country.
is a Danish country. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah, Denmark.
it's kind of like Marvel, where they like have like fantasy things happening in real world settings.
Mhm.
Because there's two types of fantasies. There's fantasies that take place in real world settings, and then there's fantasies that's just like pure fantasy, like Legend of Zelda. Hyrule doesn't exist. They just mishmash different things from Norwegian cultures and Japanese cultures. It's pure fantasy, no realistic elements at all. And then you got like shit like Marvel or stuff like I guess you could say a
You
little
never
more.
read the description. Any character or place that comes in here just off of coincidence is a work of fiction. It's still a fictional city, just named after a real city.
Say again. Say
It's
again.
still
I didn't hear clearly.
if New York, we take something and it takes place in New York, it's still a fictional New York and not a
It's a
legitimate.
fictional version of New York, but they base it off of real world politics and a lot of real events. They put Obama in the comic book. It's a lot of realism. It's still fictional, but it's a lot of realistic basis. A lot of fantasy, especially good fantasy, is based off of a lot of real world principles and events.
Yeah, and I think Marvel is a bad example because that's still New York. Like Spider-Man's still in Manhattan, and like
And he met Obama.
and he met Obama. Captain America's from Queens. Matter of fact, a lot of the superheroes are from exact like real places in New York.
But
It's not like Batman and Gotham or Superman and Metropolis.
I'm,
It's
but I'm
like
using Marvel. I'm using Marvel because Marvel is more realistic. It's a more realistic type of fantasy.
Nah.
But shit like Zelda or Sonic the Hedgehog or What else? My Little Pony. That's pure fantasy. Has no
No,
basis in reality whatsoever.
you heard him wrong, Ray. He was using Marvel fantasy to the extent where they base it in real cities, but then
It's real stuff. Some real stuff here and there.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
not
but
fictional cities. But let's go back to race bending characters that we talked about last week. I have no problem with it if it makes sense. Like you said, maybe they should change the location.
yeah, I think so. I mean,
And
that would make me feel nice about it. I don't think most people wouldn't care. They would be fine with the European castles and all that European shit
but they
that
can
was
still
in
do
the
that. I mean,
original.
I don't know. It's fiction. It's a different time period. We don't always have to get everything. I don't know. I like a movie where freaking Abe Lincoln slaughtered vampires. So
That was actually a good movie. I saw that in theaters.
That was I saw
it's a
that.
decent movie. I don't know about good.
I, I think
It was
it's a
fun.
great movie.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got to be good for me to like. I mean, Mortal Kombat. Oh god, I love it
But
though.
it don't take a lot of imagination to imagine that, though.
Um,
It is mermaids because I like no I ain't gonna get into all that, but
nah, I'm just saying. God damn, that sounds
I'm
like a
just like it's interesting how so many cultures have claimed that they've seen mermaid, quote unquote, claim that they've seen mermaid.
Mm-hmm. Well, Clarence, I don't know about Ray, but I think Father went through this too with me. I'm not sure, but I know in animation we learn about. You ever heard of the monomyth, aka the hero's journey?
Yeah, oh yeah. What's that?
Have
What's that guy? It's this old white guy who likes who used to push that idea around. He kind
Jason
of like
Campbell?
say his name again.
Jason Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. The first major movie I think that really like used the monomyth in Star Wars. But if you look at the monomyth and you break it down, it might be about 12 stories at most, all just told in a different way when it comes to
Uh-huh.
originality. That's why everything got. I was watching something and they compared. If I don't remember the whole documentary, but what I do remember was there always been some type of god fighting a serpent, and this god had lightning powers. If it be Zeus had a enemy that was like a king of snakes. That and Zeus' main thing was
Yeah, I think it
lightning,
was a Titan or something.
and then you have Thor, who's in the original mythology, not Marvel's version of Thor, but the original mythology, his enemy was the world serpent.
Yeah, the World Serpent. He was in the comic books too, but not in the movies for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah,
But no, I mean I'm going off of straight Norse mythology, not the
I know.
way. So there's always things. There's no real original stories like I always hit people five people control five different robots and they merge them to come together as one giant robot. And I ask, who am I talking about? Who did that sound like to you?
Say it again.
Every anime, manga, or
Five, five,
Japanese.
five pilots control giant robots with the ability to come together to make to make a bigger giant robot.
Sound like Voltron and Power Rangers and
Yeah, see, no, we're gonna stop there. Usually, I get some people that say Voltron or Power Rangers, and they say you're the first person to actually say both. I get people go Voltron, and I say no, I was talking about Power Rangers. They go Power Rangers, no, I was talking about Voltron. And we can date. If you go to each story, you can kind of break it down because there's archetypes and everything. So that's why
if people
even
take something that somebody does and then like a whole slew of people will just run with it and kind of build on that idea.
yeah, you can take one story and we can probably and we apply some of the rules from the monomyth or almost all of them. I'm
Mm.
sure we can. Even the Bible. That's why some people we had a teacher named Griffin who was atheist and he even called religions nowadays myth, or I forgot how he worded it, so he wouldn't try to offend people too much. But
That sound like me. I'm an atheist too. I study.
hello,
I can hear him. He's just low.
I can't hear him. Oh, you went out.
Hello, hello.
Yeah,
I hear you now.
Yeah, someone called me. I was hoping they didn't cut me off from there. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah. No, you was talking. You went out.
But yeah, what was I saying? I forgot.
You said you were an atheist.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. I'm an atheist too, but I study religions and stuff for storytelling reasons because I want to create like my own like comics and stuff too.
that's another thing. A Muslim that I worked with a long time ago pointed out to me some of the names might be, you know, they might be spelled different, but they're really the same names, like Abraham and Ibrahim.
Yeah,
Jacob
it's like
and Yaqub.
it's like that. It's like that saying, "Nothing new under the sun."
What was that again, Father?
Jacob and Yaqub is one too. That's an actually famous one
Okay, I didn't know that.
because the letter J was never in Hebrew.
Yeah. I heard that. Like when they talk about the name Jesus and how the J was never a Hebrew word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really fascinating. I mean, stories are repeated, and people don't want to understand it. I like how some people say stuff are not original nowadays, but even the stuff they think original really isn't. It's the idea you use around
I mean, it doesn't matter who the messenger is. Did you get the message?
it.
Right. Yeah, because I found out that mermaid stories go back to 2,000 years ago. So the Little Mermaid definitely ain't an original mermaid story because the Little Mermaid is only like around 200 plus years old.
And plus, Brandy didn't get this much smoke when she was doing Cinderella.
I just think we live in the age of social media now.
Well, yeah, it's the social media, and it's because people was making it a thing to be more diverse, and so people were fighting against it.
Yeah, and
Like before, it was like if it happened, it happened. It's just an idea that somebody had. But now, like social media, people get to like vocalize their purpose behind doing certain things. People are responding to it more like, "Oh, you're virtue signaling. You're virtue signaling."
I had somebody today. I saw somebody today or yesterday who is black comment and said it's pandering, and I'm like, I'm getting tired of everything being pandering.
It might be. It might be for real because like it is a thing. It's a thing to do in today's world. Like making Spider-Man gay. Like they actually talking about making Spider-Man gay. It's pandering. Spider-Man really don't have too much business being gay. Possibly bi, straight, gay. I don't like Spider-Man too heterosexual for that. His whole a lot of his stories is based off of hold on. A lot of his stories is based off of him dealing with some chick and having a hard time balancing his relationship with these women with being Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. There's a lot of pandering going on in today's world, though. It really is.
I feel like pandering is one of the things that's just being thrown out so much when people don't agree with something.
All right. So here's the thing, right? Mm-hmm. Pandering is so if you ask me, pandering is doing something or representing something on purpose just to get the support of a group through money or through politics, something like that, right? It's for a gain. It's not because you're doing it because you genuinely want them to be represented. You're doing it for profit, right?
Yeah.
So when we say we do have to be careful with the word pandering because it's going to end up like the word appropriation. A lot of people use the word appropriation in the wrong context. Mm-hmm. Someone like if I have a wedding, let's say God forbid I'm wearing a white woman and I allow her to wear a fucking kente cloth. That's not appropriation because she's allowed to wear that. You feeling what I'm saying? It's only appropriation if she's wearing it and she's deliberately wearing it to make a profit and to mislead people that it came from a certain area. Yeah. That's appropriation. You feeling what I'm saying? So
I also think the word appropriation is sometimes misunderstood because I look at documentaries or different people, and all coaches appropriate other coaches. Is just that in some coaches they acknowledge that their cuisine has made been one person I forgot what I was watching, but one dude was like, "No, we like the refugees here, because our food comes from refugees a lot, come from refugees from these countries long ago, and we get new refugees that can improve our food." That's appropriation, but
Oh.
it's it's not misappropriation, and that sometimes
That's assimilation. That's not appropriation.
is appropriation. Well, I don't know.
Assimilation. Appropriation is doing something for profit.
I looked up appropriation and I got a different definition.
No, but what you're describing specifically is assimilation. If a group of people come to a country with a certain type of culture and another culture, let's say a lesser known culture adheres to it's like black people and white people. Let's say you know how there's black people that think the white man's ice is colder. That's assimilation. That's not appropriation.
Well, no, I'm saying I looked at appropriation one time and or cultural appropriation is okay.
I thought
Hmm.
this guy. Well, let me. I thought because what I thought it was making some like for example, dreadlocks. A black person wears dreadlocks. People are like, hey, it looks raggedy, it looks ugly, it looks blah 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 blah. But when white people do it, they kind of like make it. It's inappropriate if a black person does it, but appropriate if the dominant culture does it.
Yeah.
This,
Does that make
this,
any sense? It's like the white people make it appropriate for them, even though with dreadlocks, I don't think that people see. I've heard people say that like plaits is cute on white girls, but if black women wear plaits, it's inappropriate,
mm-hmm.
and therefore it's appropriating it when the white women do it, or men or whoever, anybody can wear plaits.
Okay.
But yeah,
Appropriation and cultural appropriation got different. Okay, but
I think it depends on what type of white girl. Because if they're like Norwegian or Vikings, or have Viking
that is
bloodline,
true. That is true. Yeah, I already know where you're going with this because I said this before as a debunk. I was like, black people are the opposite people that wear braids.
but my thing was they calling them braids and locks too, or
I don't know what Norwegian or other women called it, but it's essentially the same thing.
they really didn't call them locks. Black people didn't really call them locks back then either. They had
oh,
I
they
forgot
just call them
the name they
dreads.
had, but they weren't called locks at first either.
Hmm.
And did Vikings and European women did they wear them like as many as we did? Because when I see like European women wearing it, it'd be like three braids in their hair or two braids in their hair. It don't be like 8 or 10 braids in their hair, or their whole head is covered in braids. Not typically anyway.
I mean, well, the only reason why that hairstyle is a thing in the first place is because it's protective. It
Yeah,
protects the hair, so that's why they do it. That's why it makes sense that the
yeah,
Vikings did that because
right.
they
So they
traveled a lot.
battle
So
fight a
they
lot
don't
too.
want their hair getting in the way, so they tie it
Yeah,
up. That makes sense.
Yeah,
right.
simulation. And I'm tired of it.
Um, as far as the Little Mermaid goes,
Mm-hmm.
I here's the thing. I think Halle Berry's
You,
like anytime when a black person takes a not being racist, but anytime when a black person takes a
you
white
breaking up,
person's
bro.
job, all of a sudden there's so much. Huh?
You keep breaking up.
Yeah,
Oh, my side.
I can't. What'd you say?
You breaking up.
Am I? How do I
You
sound?
sound fine to me.
Mm.
Maybe something going on your end.
You know.
Wow. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem hating anybody right now.
Okay. Um, I don't. I think Halle Bailey, the person that's going to play Ariel, she's going to do a great job. I've heard her saying she's a remarkable singer, and to tell you the truth, she's kind of light skinned enough where she can pull it off and become a redhead. So it's not like they got Lupita Nyong'o playing Ariel. I think they really got a fit. If they, I think honestly, all right, she's light skinned. She can pull it's just like Zendaya. She's light skinned enough to pull it off.
Halle Bailey, light skin.
Uh,
Her looks to look more brown skin.
Carmel.
she's caramel, but she's not. She's like at the brown paper bag, whereas like Zendaya was, even though she claims she's black, she's like racially ambiguous to most people. To most people, that's like same thing with like Dorothy Dandridge, where she could look like she can look white, but she's black or something like that. Or like for Zendaya Spanish, because I always thought she was Spanish. I didn't even think she was black.
Uh-huh.
But with the whole Ariel thing, all right, uh, my black side is for it, and my me not liking what's it called race bending is against it, because I'm the same one that when they did the Power Rangers reboot, I wanted Zach Black, I
I
wanted
was all right. Yeah.
I wanted Zach Black, I wanted Trinity Asian, and I even said if they bring Tommy, I hope he's a white boy. I hope he look like Tom. I like. I've always, even yes, story's been done over and over again, and all that other stuff.
Hey, Raymond, let me
But
let me let me follow up after you finish.
like stories have been done over and over again, but then again, there are new stories that even I don't know about, like Pose. Pose is a very original story because it talks about the transgender's life. I've never heard no story about that. I watched the shows. That's cool. All right, I wouldn't want no one else representative but the trans community to do a show like that.
Right.
As far as like I said, as far as like if they did get like an Ariana Grande, no one would bat an eye. Yes, that's true because she kind of looks like Ariel and she could sing. But if they would have got a random redhead, no, I mean that's cool if you want to keep it authentic. But I feel like as black people, it's still kind of lazy because it's like because the story is already there. You ain't got to do much. The story is already there. So all you really got to do is copy paste. But even if we like you said, the whole Voltron and Power Rangers thing is like it's two different stories. Like Voltron's mostly deal with outer space, and Power
Yeah,
Rangers
at the core, right?
at the core, yes.
That's all I'm talking about. Is at the core. I don't care about.
Okay, but as at the same time, that's very vague. Like I said, if
Core, but would they still fight at the end, right?
this is what I'm telling you, it's vague.
Monster with their
Even no, this is what I'm saying. Even at the core, yes, that's vague. But I like Zach. What is it about? But the characters is what makes the story.
No, that's
So
what I
that's
said. I said no.
so what is it about? Huh?
No, what I said was stories are similar. It's just the idea you have around that story is what makes it original.
Uh-huh.
Right. I'm agreeing with that. But that's why I said, like when you said the whole to fight a monster, I said that's vague because I could think of every anime. What's it called? What's the Japanese version for it for Power Rangers? Clarence.
Super Sentai.
Super Sentai, yeah, there you go.
I can think of every Super Sentai that has that same concept, but you can't tell me Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is different from Time Force. Two different stories. It may have the same core, and you're there. Maybe you're there for the fight, but if you ask people what's their favorite Power Ranger series, most people will say Mighty Morphin. Most people would say Time Force. Most people will even say Samurai. All right,
Depending on what they
like,
grew up with, I think.
huh?
I think it depends on what they grew up with. Because we look at a lot of people look at things through a nostalgic lens, what they grew up with. That's
Right.
why a lot. That's actually why I want to get to. The reason you identify with characters as their race is because that's what you've seen them as growing up.
Mhm.
Like I can't think of Batman, or not Batman, but I can't think of Bruce Wayne being anything but a white man with jet raven black hair, and the eyes don't really matter, but usually he got blue eyes. But that's Bruce Wayne to me. If I was to identify Bruce Wayne, that's what I would say. White man, black hair, jet black hair, not blonde hair, not red hair, black hair. If you ain't got black hair, I ain't interested.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could also say the same thing when it was rumored that Idris Elba was going to be the new James Bond. There was a lot of people that was like, no, because James Bond was always white. You feel
Yeah,
me?
it's a nostalgia. It's a nostalgia. Nostalgia is strong. It's very strong.
People
A lot of people,
sell no, companies sell shit because of nostalgia.
yeah.
Right.
Like I want, like for me, I like nostalgia to a degree, but I think that nostalgia is actually keeping some franchises from evolving into something better.
It is. I can agree with that.
Yeah, like Mega
And
Man, for example.
What was the example?
Mega
Mega
Man.
Man.
That last Mega Man game was it 11 or 10 or 12 something. That joint was the same as every other Mega Man. It just had 2.5D graphics and it had like two new mechanics. I want them to take like a Mario route and like totally evolve that game and still make it good at the same time, like they did with Breath of the Wild.
Some people hated Breath of the Wild because they didn't feel like it was Zelda games.
I mean, yeah, they can hate Breath of the Wild, but they can't say it's a bad game.
Yeah, they didn't like the concept of Battle of the Wild Clans. It wasn't Zelda to them. They wanted but everybody's not opening up to something new and fresh. People don't like change. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
like anything. And I really hate the fact that people act like they own characters that they didn't create.
I mean, people do that with music and everything.
No,
So
I'm saying everything. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah. But honestly, that's what I'm sitting on because I don't mind them for Halle Berry. Like I said, I don't mind Halle Berry. I think she's gonna do a phenomenal
Holly
job.
Berry.
It's not Halle Berry.
Her name
I
was
said
Holly.
Bailey.
I thought it was Holly Berry. I was like, what her old ass doing playing the mermaid?
I said Bailey. I said Bailey. I said Bailey.
It
I
sounds
thought
like
you said Holly
Berry
Berry.
that
It's
time.
not like, probably because I'm talking fast. I don't have a problem with Halle Bailey. I think she's going to do a phenomenal job. But
Her
you're
and
but
her sister
whoever
are
said
married.
if they put Ariana Grande in instead of her, yeah, you're right. Because say the truth, if you give her red hair, she'll look like Ariel.
You know what? I actually seen a cosplayer, right? A light skinned cosplayer. She put on the same outfit as that one girl that was playing Starfire in the Titans live action TV show. She put on the exact same thing on Instagram, and people were telling her she looked so good. She started going on people. She's like, I got on the same outfit as the actress from the Titan. I forget the actress name, but y'all liking this? We're not having this colorism thing on my page. Y'all can all go. Yeah, she had on the same thing, the same color wig, jacket, everything.
I mean, yeah, she's right.
hmm
You got a point.
She was like, "Oh, is
Look,
no
look.
problem. I'm light skinned. Get out of here."
Like, yeah, but like, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care about her being black per se, but the scenery, the whole Norwegian scenery got to go.
So,
Like,
what was your stand?
I actually want the whole cast to be black. I want the whole, not the whole cast, but the majority of the cast. I want the majority of the cast to be black.
So, Ray,
Change it to another location because Norway, and it's called the Great White North for a reason. It's called the Great White North for a reason. It just don't sound right to me.
Why you on? What's your stance against race bending again?
I'm not a big fan of race bending. Um, you know what's funny? Clarence told me this the other day. It seems like gingers are getting erased out of most
Oh
of the movie
yeah,
roles they're in. But I'm just a fan of um sticking to the source. That's just me.
Mm.
Like even though Samuel Jackson is a great Nick Fury, if they'd put a white man in there, I wouldn't like. I know Nick before Samuel Jackson. I knew Nick Fury as a white man. So if they really did, that's not a problem with me. But
but but you
even
know why
with
that worked though?
yeah, huh?
You know why that worked? Why Samuel Jackson worked for Nick Fury?
Because Samuel Jackson's a badass actor.
Yeah, there was a
Not exactly. Not exactly. Samuel Jackson worked for Nick Fury because if you didn't read comic books, which most people don't, you didn't really know much
Nick
about Nick
Fury
Fury
was.
at all, except for that one or two appearance in Spider-Man animated series back in the 1990s, and that one appearance he made in Gambit's flashback in the X-Men
Or Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
or Marvel Ultimate Alliance. But other than that, if you was just strictly like cartoons and video games, you barely knew who he was. So when they changed him to black, you didn't really give a shit.
That is true.
You didn't really identify with that character like you identify with Spider-Man, like you identify with Superman and Bruce Wayne and the Hulk and all those very, very popular characters that's ingrained into the society at this point.
You know, the teacher, our teacher Griffin that we had, he kind of vouched for he always said he feared from both sides, but he also said after a while, certain areas like Brooklyn, Spider-Man can't always be white and be from Brooklyn, or especially with changing climates or changing areas.
Well, that's why they got Miles Morales.
No, I'm just saying though, he just.
No, I get what he's saying, but also this is why like I praise the '90s film because like when
90s,
especially during the '90s when all the black cinema was coming out and we was having our own stories, it's like we have like I've always said this, we got writers, we got people with ideas, we got like we can I don't like Idris Elba don't have to play James Bond. We can make our own James Bond and Idris Elba in it, and he could be bad. He could be 10 times better than fucking James Bond.
He could be the Black Superman, like in that what's that? What's that movie?
Hancock.
Not Hancock. It was those Need for Speed movies. He said, "I'm the Black Superman." It was Idris Elba. He was whooping some people's ass, and he said, "I'm the Black Superman."
You talking about Hobbs and Shaw?
Yeah. I think I don't know. I don't know.
It was Hobbs and Shaw. And tell you the truth, The Rock is superhuman in Fast and Furious.
Mm-hmm.
When this man flexes and breaks a cast, and then with that same broken arm, that nigga holds a turret gun and shoots down helicopters. You're fucking superhuman. So
this is my thought on the whole swapping out legacy legendary characters with a white legacy legendary, or just race swapping legendary characters. It's not going to work because history and people are always going to recognize certain characters as being what they were originally.
I don't know.
Spider-Man is like not Spider-Man, but Peter Parker, or just Spider-Man in general, is too big of a character, of a fictional character, for people to really override him as anything else than what he looks like usually. Even if you was to change something as small as him having blonde hair in one movie, people would be like, "That's fucking wrong. Spider-Man has brown hair."
We did it with Spider-Man 3 with Topher Grace was playing Venom. That's not Venom.
Yeah. Venom's big. He's thick. He's muscular. And even with the guy, that wrestler dude that played him recently, I was like, Venom has blonde hair. That's what I said. Venom has blonde hair. He always had blonde. Eddie Brock always had blonde hair.
Peter had blonde hair.
I said that with a lot of characters, like when they had the Constantine, that guy that played the Matrix. What's his name again?
Keanu Reeves.
When Keanu Reeves played Constantine, I actually knew who Constantine was back then because I had ran to some of the comic books from my cousin. My cousin had the comic books. I was like, he doesn't look nothing like Constantine. He smokes though, but he don't look nothing like Constantine.
I don't think he always got to look like him either though, but I don't know.
Like I said, sometimes it works like Blade. If Blade was like the original Blade, it'd probably be corny, but Blade in the 90s, it had to update with the time. So with that, him being in that all black and that sweet ass fade that Wesley Snipes had, that works.
And created one of the most iconic franchises of all time. So now
Yeah.
people look at Wesley Snipes as Blade instead of the comics.
Right.
Right, exactly. But that's because people didn't know who Wesley Snipes really was. I mean, my bad.
Oh,
My bad.
Blade.
It's they said people didn't really know about Blade. People didn't know
Right.
about Blade.
And that
I
and
didn't
that's
know
what
about
you're
I
right.
knew about Blade from the Spider-Man cartoon, and
Yeah.
he was light skinned in that, and that was it. That's the only thing I knew Blade from.
But they did make Peter blonde. I mean, he died, but he was blonde.
You
You
talking
know
about the
about
Ultimate Universe, the Ultimate Universe, and the Spider Verse?
Yeah,
Into the Spider Verse?
yeah.
That was an alternate reality one, and
They also
I don't really read Ultimate like that. But in the Ultimate books I did read, he wasn't blonde in that either.
But I mean, this is another thing Marvel and DC has helped create is alternate universe that we can get.
Yeah, alternate.
that's fine.
Alternate universe. I don't really dabble with the alternate universes that much, but I don't have a problem with them either.
But even in Into the Spider Verse, like the other Spider Man that came from another dimension, he's like, "Wow, I'm Spider Man in here, and I'm blonde." Like he pointed out, it was not like no one ever like disregarded. He was like, "Oh, I'm blonde in this," so like you didn't notice that.
Burrito Parker.
Peter B. Parker,
Burrito Parker.
I guess.
I sent you the video where I got it from. It was from the creators.
Yeah, I don't think people have too much problem with the alternate universes though, because I never had a problem with the Hispanic Spider Man from 2099.
Miguel O'Hara.
Miguel.
Yeah, that's fine because Spider Man is the superhero, but like Peter Parker was the character behind it. So like,
He's the OG.
yeah, that's what people's and like Spider Man is just bigger than like the superhero. It's like Spider Man and Peter, especially for Spider Man stories, him and Peter Parker and what he does in his everyday life and how he maintains it. That's what makes Spider Man Spider Man.
Uh-huh.
So like having different people play Spider-Man and like Into the Spider that works. Like Spider-Man Noir, Spider SPDR with
I
Penny
like
Parker,
Spider Gwen.
Spider Gwen.
I like Spider Gwen too.
She got the
That's
best.
just like Gwen Stacy.
I still have to watch that movie.
She has the
Well,
best costume, but I think I'm a sucker for hoodies.
Well, you didn't watch Into the Spider Verse yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I know
I
it's on
ain't
Netflix. I just gotta watch
pretty
it.
good.
It's freaking
We
amazing.
ain't spoiling.
It's my second favorite Spider Man movie, next to Spider Man 2.
I like it more than Spider Man 2, but it's just me.
Man, each his own.
But that can also be because I'm the former animator, so it was other things I was.
It's for me. It's I like the action scenes in Spider Man 2. Like the fight scenes between him and Doctor Octopus was pretty dope, and that's what I like most.
That was a really balanced movie, in my opinion, with Spider Man 2. And Homecoming is probably up there in top 3. I mean, Far From Home.
Oh, you seen that?
Yeah,
It's good.
it's
I'm gonna
great.
see it tomorrow.
I love the way they do Mysterio. I can't say much because it's gonna ruin things, but
Yeah.
that what really gonna blow your mind
Uh-huh.
is the mid credit post scene.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be looking forward to that then.
And just so you know, not spoiling anything, there are ending credits to the movie.
Say
Well,
what? You say
Nah,
what?
my sister's boyfriend walked out without knowing there was ending credits, and my sister joked on him about that. And they're like after movie ending credits and some shit like.
okay.
I was about to yell at why y'all walking out, but okay, you know what?
I think they might have walked out because the last didn't have Endgame didn't have the ending.
No, some people been walking out on the movies forever. I don't care how many came out. Every time I went to a movie theater, it was always at least like 5 people that walked out.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, they don't know. That's what you hit it with the they don't know.
Just don't know. They just don't know.
And I know some people are mad about the troll ones, like the one with Captain America. You've been waiting so long.
Oh, you're like, oh, you still here? You still here?
No,
there's no
Is
part one.
it was like you've been waiting so long, and at the end just to be disappointed.
Them niggas got shawarma. What you expect? So we gonna get some shawarma. And
so
niggas got shawarma.
Yo, speaking of like in game and stuff, I did go over some family member houses today. My little 6-year-old cousin was in there, and this man was doing a bunch of stuff from the Marvel Universe. He picked up 2 little knives and jumped at me, talking about I'm Drax. then he,
Ain't
then
that the
he,
cute thing?
then he did. He was singing the Venom song. He was singing it. Then he picked up Thanos and started doing Thanos, Thanos. I was like, this kid is hilarious. Then he's sitting there eating pizza. He go, Avengers. He did the whole little motion and everything. Assemble. I was like, these kids are funny.
Okay. So on to the next topic. Lil Nas X comes out the closet. Does anybody really care about that?
Hell no.
No.
You talking about will take my horse to the
Yeah.
My problem is the straight people who start sexualizing that song that came after.
The song was already sexualized before he came out. Though.
Them 2 songs I saw you post on Brandon Thing. One, Cupcake is a nasty bitch in general.
But that proves my point. The song was already sexualized before.
Oh, she's just a nasty bitch. She gonna sexualize anything. She's
No,
sexualized.
no, it's beyond her. Like there were people sexualizing that song before he came out.
Not what gay like or just in general.
In general.
No, I don't think that counts as the same. But this is
What?
If it's in general, what the fuck is this?
Because the other video was a gay parody.
No. I didn't look at it. One. Okay.
But that's what I was saying. Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like this shit was already like. Do you know how many like? Do you know like mostly like any famous songs? There's a gay version of it.
Mm.
Like there's some rapping about gay is, and you hear some of the gayest shit. It's like there's a whole slew of videos like that. It's like a gay. It's like really gay. It's, but that's what I'm saying. Like but that's what I'm saying about Old Town Road. I was like, bruh, it's like the song was sexualized before Lil Nas X came out, and of course him coming out, he's gonna catch these jokes. I don't know why, like people. I wouldn't even like looked at it as a big deal that he was catching them jokes. If anything, he took them jokes like head on.
He was laughing.
He was laughing at him. So it was like, why is people being insulted? And he was like, I don't even be on Twitter like that, but for some reason I follow Lil Nas X, and he had a good sense of humor about it.
It come with the territory.
And my thing is, did y'all listen to Closure? Because I'm not sure if he ever said he was gay.
I listened to it. He never explicitly says he's gay in the song.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my thing.
I just think it was just a ruse to get people to listen to his music.
I don't know. That's another thing.
I mean, that could be true because it's like you said. You still don't think Tyler the Creator is gay.
I never see. It's hard with Tyler the Creator because he's a troll.
But that's why I don't think he's gay because he's a troll.
But as far as I don't know.
I mean, I always thought he was gay, so I ain't think it was like a big. And I've said this before, like coming out in 2019 is not that big of a deal. I don't care if it is Pride Month. I don't think gay people coming out in 2019 because we're so much more accepting than we was 20 years ago. I can understand it being even in Elton John's era. I can see it like being a big deal, but like now I don't really see it.
Yeah, nowadays if you're intolerant about gay people be intolerant towards your intolerance. I mean, you're more likely to be like being homophobic is pretty much generally unacceptable. I mean, it kind of depends on what crowd you hanging around. Generally, I think it's
some people
to be homophobic these days.
Some people just can't let it. I don't know. I can't stand black Israelites. You can't do anything around them.
Oh,
Most of them niggas deluded anyway, so we just leave them alone.
Bro, I didn't know it could be. I could feel disrespected when a black man called me nigga.
Yeah, I like going listen to Hebrew is like they're entertaining as fuck. Just
I love watching their videos, bro. They're entertaining as fuck.
I like going downtown DC and listening to them talk shit. That shit is funny.
That shit is funny.
That shit is hilarious.
Before I got my new car, the last time I was on the bus, I was waiting for a bus. They outside the front of the Starbucks on 8th Street by Eastern Market. And one of them niggas tried to wave me over. I was like, no, I'm good right here. All it is, I think some white people try to listen to him, and they start calling them, you crackers need to get out of here. I was like, oh, God.
Oh, yeah, they be going on white man for sure. We also go on anybody who doing anything traditionally, quote unquote, immoral.
Go ahead. They traditionally went Muslim, you say?
Oh no, I say immoral,
Hmm.
traditionally immoral, old school terms like heathenistic.
Hmm. I think they're the reason why I don't want to be called king either.
Why? Because it might be Hebrew Israelite.
Hotep.
Hotep.
And I also don't need it to feel good about myself or what I came from. You know, I come from the motherland. The land that started it all.
They don't claim Africans though.
They don't?
No.
Yo, what's up with those gauntlets? What's up with those gauntlets they be wearing? What are they trying to do? Block Ninja Star?
Yo,
have y'all seen that shit?
Yes, I've seen it.
No, I think they were dressed up, and my best friend father said he saw them niggas talking about them. Y'all look like every wind and fire out here.
Wow.
They prepared for battle. I'm like, what's up with them gauntlets? Them gauntlets are sweet. I need to use that shit for a cosplay or something.
You just go to a con dressed like a Hebrew Israelite.
They think you some type of Afrocentric fictional character or something.
You're right.
Because you know they got a few of those coming out. Actually, be these.
They say Kendrick Lamar is a Hebrew.
Like, that's because he mentions it in a song.
He mentions it in a few songs. I thought.
Same with Kodak Black.
Kodak Black is a Hebrew Israelite. What?
Damn, you guys know that Black be saying. I don't. That Floridian accent he got is too strong.
I dead ass thought he was Mushmouth at one point.
But
I still think that dude Mushmouth. All right, on to like the last topic I got. AEW had a show called Fighter Fest, and my boy Cody Rhodes took an unprotected chair shot to the head, and for some reason, like that got a lot of people in their feelings. How do y'all feel about that?
I want
wrestling.
back.
What are people's feelings about him getting in the chair? Because I ain't get that deep into that one.
Well, back then when you took a chair shot to the head, they usually have their hands up. So even though it looked like it's unprotected, it's kind of protected. Cody Rhodes didn't do that. He just took that shit straight to the head, and he was bleeding everywhere. And
so it was like real for real.
Yeah,
supposedly they said the chair was supposed to be like set up. I don't know. I feel like it was a cover because they said the chair was gimmick, whatever that meant.
It was bent before you already like hit him in the head with it. So. Also, like he had 12 stitches in his head, and that man was bleeding. And I was like, yeah, I was like, that's what a protected chair shot do. That's why Mick Foley was unconscious when Rock went crazy with the fucking chairs.
I know in one of them TLC matches, Bubba Ray Douglas swore he got a double concussion in one match.
Double concussion. I remember him telling him about it. And he was like, he just like did his matches through it. CM Punk said like when Kofi Kingston kicked him, he was like in concussion city. So
He never got mad at Kofi though. That's still his boy to the day. He says.
yeah, he said like no problems. You was doing your job and all that. I think he was more mad at the WWE, but that story was funny. But
what story you talking about? Was it? I thought he got
on his podcast when he was talking about the whole him Royal Rumble and him having a cyst in his back as like the shit was growing and like they
on his leg.
made him wrestle.
No, cyst on his back. He had a staph infection in his
Staph
leg.
infection. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah. No, I thought he got a concussion from the choke slam, but he didn't. He got that from. I don't remember. I gotta listen to that podcast. You know he's suing Colt Cabana for some reason. Well,
Yeah,
he's counter suing Colt Cabana.
I don't know why, but CM Punk was always a dick.
Well, no, he's counter suing him. In other words, Colt Cabana sued him first.
Oh, I don't know why. That shit is stupid to me too. But
I thought they were good friends. You never know with people.
yeah, I don't know. It's like, white people love suing people. So
You're not wrong.
what you think? What you think about it, Father?
It's wrestling. Like people yeah, I get that it's unprotected, but this is what they sign up for. You could do a bump and it could go wrong. You could do like a lot of shit can go wrong when you're doing these matches. Yeah, the matches are predetermined, but the actual selling of the moves and everything that happens real time. So if someone botches a move, you're gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? Now it depends on the recovery because I've seen people recover over botches. It's definitely possible, but
Undertaker did.
yeah, but when people botch, you know what I'm saying? It's just part of the territory. You're gonna have moves that you're not gonna get over quickly. You might not have symmetry with someone that's really over. You know what I'm saying? Like Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. Those two do not have chemistry at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these things are gonna happen. You're gonna get busted up. Remember when fucking Brock Lesnar busted open John Cena and fucking Randy Orton, and we was all cheering like a motherfucker?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, y'all can cheer about that, but y'all worried that Cody Rhodes took a fucking chair shot? Shut the fuck up.
That's why I wish we had kayfabe back. So I looked it up, Ray. Coco Cabana has filed a lawsuit against CM Punk stemming from Punk's civil lawsuit against WWE doctor Chris Amon. Let's see. He is suing Punk for a breach of contract and fraud after claiming the former WWE champion offered to cover his legal fees during the case with Amon. Or Armin, however you say his name. Cabana's lawsuit contends Punk promised to help him out with the legal bills they immense fighting the defender. God damn it. Defamation lawsuit. Cabana claims Punk told him a text that he would be 100% covered. Punk has failed to keep his promise, leaving him with unpaid legal fees totaling $513,736, according to the lawsuit. Punk asked Cabana to pay half of the legal fees, which comes out to $256,868. Then you're on your own. Cabana is seeking a total of $1.2 million in his lawsuit for general and exemplary damages.
Boring.
It don't speak on the countersuit, but whatever.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't care about that. Really, I don't know.
I think it's just alarming because it was supposedly friends, but
I mean, they were friends. Then CM Punk said sell Colt Cabana fucking ice cream balls or whatever. He tried, he didn't mention him in WWE TV, so it was cool. But yeah, that's just Nah,
Bad Blood.
that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Uh, okay. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end this podcast. And then, as usual, we're gonna have our last words. And I'm gonna start with first Black Ginger.
Fuck everything. Fuck you. Fuck your feelings. I don't give a damn.
Okay. Shining Wolf.
So
Hello?
that was just a shining wolf.
Yeah, my thing died. So now I'm using the other thing.
We're on to last words.
Last words out there. Y'all on that already? Y'all was
Yeah.
only gone for a moment. Last words.
I don't know. We've been here for a minute. See? I just think it was flowing good today.
Yeah. It was a good. Yeah, it was a good flow today. I don't know. It's like nostalgia. Nostalgia. I don't know if anybody gonna really be able to beat nostalgia. Maybe with a little. What we talking about the Little Mermaid thing? Maybe with a little social engineering, maybe. But that nostalgia gonna be a hard thing to beat. They gonna try though. I'm talking about with in regards to like the swapping out how characters' physical attributes are described. It's gonna take a little time, but yeah, I think it can be done with some social engineering though.
All right. Father.
I'm about to watch the fuck out of Stranger Things 3. It's gonna be lit. Also, fuck the people that binge watch the show and then brag about it. Shut the fuck up. Leave that shit to yourself. Let other people who like immersing themselves enjoy it. And also, I'm looking forward to BlurredCon because that's going on. Even though I can only afford the ticket and nothing else, but I don't give a fuck because I'm gonna support my people first and foremost. Fuck the IRS,
Hey,
and I don't care if you monitoring this call. Fuck y'all, motherfuckers. And yeah.
hey,
Also,
I got.
Ariel's black. Get over it.
Hit me up after this podcast. I might be able to hook you up with a little something BlurCon.
Yay!
Uh,
Did everybody go on their last word?
yeah.
Well, Ray got to go on his.
Okay.
How
I've
you
been
been?
watching.
That's all.
I've been watching. She's Gotta Have It for some reason because I have this obligation to like watch everything Spike Lee, and I'm not gonna lie. Like I see the reviews of the show, and a lot of women don't like it, and I kind of see why. Noah Darling's an asshole.
You said a
Who's
lot
an
of
Um,
asshole?
women like it. I saw a lot of women say they loved it.
some women love it, and some women do not like it. But I've seen some reviews. Some people like really, and I like. I have a love hate relationship with this. But as far as Noah Darling, like the woman that plays her, she's a gorgeous woman. But Noah Darling as a character, fuck her. He's she does not deserve Mars Blackman, and I'm gonna keep screaming at is like
Now you make me want to
if
watch the show, bro.
if y'all ever like sit down and watch the show, y'all would understand why I say that. Um, I don't. I'm like I'm almost done through season 2, and honestly, I don't think they should have ever been in season 2 because
Wow.
because it's not much about the story. It's more or less. Let's just say, like when I'm watching this it seems like the story doesn't matter, but it's. I think it was a way to get Spike Lee's political views out because it was talking about Puerto Rico and all that other stuff, and like there's a story in there, but like none of it makes sense.
Mm.
Hmm.
And like I said, when I watch it, it's like there's really no need for a season 2, but I'm gonna finish this anyway because I like the cinematography and it's shot well. But the writing sucks. and they make Nola, whoever wrote this make Nola Don a real big ass hypocrite, and that about it.
Okay. Is there no character progression with her at all?
There is no character progression from nobody, but in this, but you will like Mars Blackman, like the guy that plays Mars Blackman. Like, don't get me wrong, the actors are great. The cinematography is great. It's like Green Lantern. The writing sucks, but everything else is there.
But that was Green Lantern pretty much.
Describe bad writing to me, right? In your opinion, because I had somebody tell me he told me a good movie, a good what dialogue can make a movie good, and I'm like, that's not all, but okay.
Um, you say explain to you in writing.
No, explain to me your
Okay,
what makes something good writing to you.
okay. For one, let's take. All right, let's talk about. She's got to have it, right?
Mhm.
Okay. She's a how she say it? Polyamorous, polygamous. She's a girl that fucks. She likes fucking, and she fucks a lot of people. All right, but she got this three. She got these three men. You know the premise of she's got to have it, right?
Yeah,
It's like her having this relationship with three men, and she's like in this open, and but she doesn't believe in commitment, right?
yeah,
Or she
polyamory
doesn't
or
want
whatever.
to put them in a box. So she has these rules that all these people will follow, and so in order to put them in a box. But when she meets this woman, those rules go out the window for some reason. Like
Mhm.
she doesn't now. Like a lot of these people, they're like different. One dude, he's married, so he really shouldn't be fucking with her anyway. Other dude's a narcissist, but Mars Blackman, that man's like a ride or die,
Mhm.
and like he's a good dude. And sometimes they're like but like they all have these rules, and they're like they're okay with it, but her whole thing is she don't want the men to try to like possess her or like put her in a box. But the men are not doing that. All those men look out for her
Mhm.
in a way. They look out for her, they help her out, and all the other shit. They're not really trying to. If you're looking at it, they're not really trying to possess her. Now, the one girl, she has she has a lesbian relationship, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't buy like those rules go out the window for her, and how like those men she thinks they tried to put them in a box but don't. The woman actually puts her in a box, and
Mhm.
she's like cool with it.
Okay, that makes
That- Like she's like gushing over it. So it's like, okay, so you don't want to be you telling people you don't want to be put in a box, you don't want to be possessed, but this woman got rules that you got to abide by, and you're okay with it,
mm,
right? So it's sort of like if you really watch the old movies, like those men was really trying to possess her, like or like trying to get something from her and all that other stuff. But in the TV series, she's more or less she's very insecure of one thing. She doesn't really know what she wants, and she's kind of an asshole. And she's a hypocrite because if you got rules for one set of people, you should have rules for everybody, and she doesn't. So during that, the whole dialogue also it's really like you could tell like old people wrote it, and not like people from our generation how we wrote it, how we read it. It's like tell the writers from other people. So that could really fuck up how things can go. Like it's not like Transformers where the dialogue could be bad, but if you just want to see just a robot, that's one thing. But like something like He's Got to Have It is based on dialogue, so it has to make sense and it has to
so,
progress. Not it does none of that.
so it doesn't progress for you. That's what make it bad to you?
Right. It doesn't progress.
Because I see the
Um,
challenge. The odd thing is, if she got rules and she's the one person that's going out. it should start some type of chain reaction for other events, but you saying it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, okay. And I'm just asking because everybody got their different things. I watched Spider Man into this, into the Spider. Somebody gave a review on the Spider Verse, and she didn't like certain aspects of it. But when I watched it, I was like, I don't know what she was talking about. This was good character progressions on Miles Morales' part. I don't want to say much because Father hasn't watched it yet, but you know,
I don't know. At least Into the Spider Verse had character progression.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish after this we can talk more about it when Father not here because I don't want to spoil it for him.
Appreciate it.
Okay. We might have to talk about it later because after this I gotta do some other stuff and I got some like late night errands to run. So with that being said, I would like to thank everybody on this panel for coming out. Very good show today. I think it really flowed. So this is you know what? Let me just say podcast and I'm out. Peace.
Shining out.
Did you say